Okay, thought I'd show you a few of my breakfasts this week so that you kind of get an idea of what I eat. So today is Monday morning and I'm going to start off with a nice, good protein shake. And it's an apple cinnamon coconut smoothie. And so I have my NutriBullet here. And what it asks for is 1 cup of coconut milk. And then you take 1 cup of Granny Smith apple that I have cut up. And then next you have a whole banana that's cut up. You take a cup of baby spinach. You take a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then you kind of fill the rest up with ice. And then you tighten the lid. And it is enough for 2 servings. So I'm going to take 1 for the morning. And then I probably will have this for dinner tonight too, because I have a very busy night. So I probably won't be cooking tonight. But this will be my breakfast. This will be my dinner. I'll pour it in a cup, but I've never had this before. But the apples and the cinnamon in there and I've never used coconut milk either. You can't really even tell the difference, but it's nice and sweet and it's full of really good fiber. And I'll show you, I'll put the recipe below, but it has 1 cup of this is 185 calories. And with the banana and the apple in there, it'll last me through the morning, I'm sure. All right, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay, this is just another idea that I have for breakfast that's quick and easy because my whole goal is to get out of the house as quick as I can so I can sleep the longest. And today I'm just gonna make some scrambled eggs with some spinach and tomatoes along with a English muffin and some strawberries. So all I do is I just take a handful or 2 of spinach and I get it heated up, and then I just cut up a tomato into, I like them bigger in my eggs. And then I just wait for the spinach to kind of wilt a little bit. As I see it starting to wilt, then I just put in some tomatoes. Get those warmed up a little bit, get the juices going. And I was never a spinach person. When I was a kid, there was no way I was going to eat spinach. I don't eat the long spinachy, I just get the baby spinach. And then I clean it and dry it and then seal it in like my sealer, and it lasts pretty long. And then once I see that it's really wilted down and the tomatoes are getting warm, two eggs in there and just kind of scramble them up. I love eggs. It's just such a good source of protein, and it really kind of keeps me satisfied for most of the day. Occasionally, if I get hungry, I always bring like a pear or an orange or something to work to eat before lunch. Like 10 o'clock hits and I know it's a couple of hours till lunch. And I usually take the eggs off about 30 seconds before I think they're done because they still cook afterwards. So now I have my eggs. And then what I use is Food for Life Ezekiel English muffins. There's no flour in them and it's all sprouted grain. So I use organic grass-fed butter because it's a lot better than margarine, which has a lot of extra stuff in there. And if it's grass-fed, you don't get all the antibiotics in there. And there you go. Look at how much that looks like. I mean, that's only 2 eggs, but with the spinach and tomatoes, so it's mind over matter. So there you go. There's my breakfast for today. Hi, good morning. It is Thursday morning, about halfway through week number 4. So at the end of the week, it'll be a whole month. And I was trying to lose 8 to 10 pounds a month, so I'm already, I think I'm right at 8 pounds. And, but I just didn't feel like anything was progressing this week. Last week I was working out at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I did it for 5 mornings. And this week, to date, I still have not worked out. I haven't worked out since Sunday. Now, one night I was dealing with the snow, so that in itself is a workout out here in Chicago. And I've just been so busy. I had to help my daughter after work. One morning I had to get up at 4:30 to take her to work, and then I had to pick her up and help her run errands because her car's in the shop. So I didn't get a chance to work out. So I've got a million excuses why I didn't. And so I thought this morning, I don't normally do this, but I thought I would get on the scale just to see, because I didn't feel like anything was happening. I've been eating normal, normal as I have been for the last 3.5 weeks. But I got on the scale and I'm exactly what I was Monday morning when I weighed in. So I knew that something had stalled. And I didn't get upset because I didn't gain anything. But I thought, okay, well now I'm going to have to play or, do some exercising to try and break through whatever it is that I'm stalled at. So I'm making this tape and vowing to you that tonight I'm going to start my workout again. I'm probably not going to tape it, but I'll be honest. And but last night I crawled into bed. I got up at 4:30 in the morning, and by the time I got done helping my daughter run around and do a few things, it was almost 9 o'clock. And I realized that I hadn't eaten dinner, which is not a good thing. I did take a power bar about 4:30 of this organic Garden of Life, like brownie thing. And I grabbed that on the way to pick up my daughter, and I realized I hadn't eaten anything. And I remembered that I had these sunflower cookies, and I will show you the package when I get home. And 5 little of these organic sunflower cookies are like 130 calories, and I eat them. If I do eat them, I eat them very, very slowly, and I savor them. Well, for some reason, I had even taken my sleeping medicine last night because I could tell that my brain was not going to shut down real easy. So I'm laying in bed, I'm playing Words with Friends, just trying to calm my mind down, and all of a sudden my stomach just started rumbling. And I didn't even think about it. I went to the pantry and I opened up those sunflower cookies and I took 10 of them. They're little. I mean, so 10 of them is 260 calories, which in and of itself is not really a bad amount of calories. And there's not a lot of sugar in them. It's made with sunflower seeds and some organic oats. They're so good. And I ate 10 of them, and I didn't even think about it. And to be honest, I didn't even remember doing it until this morning when I saw some crumbs on my nightstand. So So I think the sleeping medicine might have taken over a little bit in my brain. And then I remembered that I grabbed 10 of them. At least I was conscious enough to count them out. So I think that was my one little slip up. But it did help me go to sleep. So I did wake up this morning and made some breakfast before work and made my lunch. So I'm back on track. So we'll see how the workout goes tonight. So wish me luck. All right, see you soon. Bye. Good morning. It is Monday morning. I know it's a little dark in my car. I'm heading to work. It's like 6:40 in the morning. And I had my weigh-in this morning, but before I talk about that, I didn't get a chance to film this weekend. It was an extremely busy weekend. My daughter, who lost her husband, was having a really bad grieving weekend, and I don't know, it was just not a good weekend, and but we got through it. Friday night was their joint birthday parties, because both of my girls two of my girls have birthdays in February, so we just kind of combine them and have one big family dinner. And my oldest daughter wanted meatloaf and mashed potatoes and corn, so I was a little bit nervous about that because I love that meal. But I know that it's not really that good for you. And I haven't had any white rice or white potatoes or any of those kind of carbs yet. So I made the meatloaf and getting ready to serve it. And I did take two little, like the little ends that nobody likes to eat. So I took two of the little pieces of the end and I made a big salad. So I put a big salad on my plate. And then as I passed it was kind of a serve yourself and sit down wherever, because we had like 15 people there. And I passed the mashed potatoes and I walked past them, and then something made me go back. And I took just a little spoonful, like a serving spoonful of potatoes, and I ate my meal. And I'm telling you, it tasted so good. But I didn't go back for seconds. Normally I would go back for more potatoes. I love mashed potatoes, smothered in butter. Love it. But I didn't. I just took a little bit of the mashed potatoes, but like I said, it tasted really good. And then, then my second daughter got to pick the cake, since my older daughter got to pick the meal. So she's on a diet and she wanted like a strawberry shortcake. So I got some angel food cake and strawberries, and I thought, oh, that's the perfect little dessert for me. I can just have some strawberries while everyone else is eating the cake and whipped cream. But I knew all my grandkids didn't like that, so I went to Portillo's, which is a hot dog stand, and I think there's some out west. But oh my God, their chocolate cake is divine. My kids don't even like cake, but they will eat a Portillo's chocolate cake. And I'm proud of myself. I did not eat them. The only thing I did when I was cutting the cake is that there was a little bit of frosting on my fingers, so I just licked a little bit of the frosting. So I think I did pretty good, and I had 2 beers. I did not weigh myself Saturday morning because I knew eating a little bit of meatloaf and potatoes and 2 beers that it probably would not be favorable on the scale. But my daughter was having a really hard time with her birthday, and losing her husband, and it's the first one that he's not going to be there to celebrate. And so Saturday was a really hard day for everyone, and so I told John, I just want a lazy day. I don't want to do anything, because when you're just so emotionally drained, and it wasn't anyone's fault. I mean, I was feeling the grief too, but I was so emotionally drained, I just wanted to sit and do nothing. And I did. But the problem is that he decided, and he doesn't have a sweet tooth, but he decided that he needed some candy, so he brings out the red licorice. He didn't offer me any because he knows I'm really trying. But I just took 2 or 3 pieces and I went back for a big handful of them. And I think I was just trying to eat away the pain that I felt for my daughter, because as a mom, and you see your daughter in so much pain, it just kills you that you can't fix it. Oh, I'm sorry. So instead, I took a handful of red licorice and I ate it. And then I had a little bit of these like Good and Plenty candies, and I took a small handful of those and I ate them one by one, but it was mindless. I wasn't even thinking about it. And that's the part that scared me, is because, you know, I was just doing it mindlessly. I wasn't purposely thinking, oh, I'm going to go and sabotage myself. And so now I really have to work on that, because that is definitely a trigger for me, is when there's a really deep emotion, and it doesn't matter what emotion it is, and I don't want to feel it anymore, I tend to eat. So that's I journaled that, so I am going to have to work on that and see how I can consciously be aware of my setting in these times. And so I got on the scale on Sunday, because I knew my weigh-in was Monday, and I'm sorry for the rambling, but I got on the scale on Monday, and I was exactly the same weight as I was the previous Monday. And I thought, oh my gosh, this one and a half days, I've just lost, well, I don't even know what I lost during the week, but I'm exactly the same weight, which I guess is good because I didn't gain any weight from my little slip up. And so I thought, okay, now it's Sunday and I'm going to eat really, really good and be very conscious all day long. And I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get my granddaughter to her volleyball tournament. She's almost going to be 10. And it was an hour away, so I had to get up at 5, pick her up at 6. And when we stopped at the store, because she wanted a couple donuts, it's like I'm grandma, so of course I'm not going to say no. So we stopped at a 7-Eleven, and I was hungry. And so I just got one of those little Sargento's little stick with a little bit of cheese and some nuts in it. So I ate that for breakfast. And then I was very good the whole day. So I got on the scale today, and I only lost 0.2 of a pound this week, which is disappointing because in a month I really wanted to lose 10 pounds. But overall I had a good month, health-wise, joint-wise, learning some of my triggers, learning some of my cues. I keep saying I'm going to go take my measurements, I'm going to go take my measurements, and I did not. So I am going to do that tomorrow morning. I have the tape measure laid out right where I get dressed, so I won't forget. And that way I can kind of measure my inches too. So overall, even though it, you know, I had that birthday dinner and I had that candy on Saturday and just didn't think about eating, I did okay. I lost 0.2 of a pound, so I can't really complain. And we got through an emotional weekend. And it is what it is. So, and I had no exercising this week, and I said I was going to go and do it, but you know what? Every night something came up, whether it was with my grandkids or something, and I know John and I went to dinner twice during the week, and I forget, I didn't even cook dinners for myself last week. I showed you a couple of my breakfasts, but I didn't cook any dinners because I was always somewhere else for dinner. And so I guess in and of itself, that's pretty good when you're not controlling what you're eating and you're at the mercy of others. So I guess it was a pretty successful week, because these are the kind of weeks that you have sometimes. And the fact that I lost 0.2 of a pound, I'm proud of myself that I must have made pretty good choices during the week to have lost even 0.2 of a pound. So I'll take it. So thanks for listening. Next week, and then videos that'll be coming up, I promise you I will have some dinners in there. I will have all my lunch preps, because I'm going to make all my lunches for the week and get them all set up, because I'm always running out of time and just throwing stuff in there for lunch. So I'll get a little bit more organized with that. And we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully I can rebound a little bit better. So until then, keep going, keep trying, never quit quitting. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.